Once I had the windows out and the top sides painted with the exception of the non-skid, I could turn my attention to replacing the now opaque plastic windows. I reviewed Gemini's excellent video on the topic. The first thing that I did was to evaluate the windows. The ones on the side facing towards the rail are relatively small and less subject to wave impact. The windows facing forward, I'll call them medium and large, are more subject to wave impact. These are the old windows. You can see that the largest one, the one from the salon, is clear and the others are tinted. All of these windows are made from polycarbonate and they have yellowed significantly. Polycarbonate is usually quoted as being 30 times stronger than acrylic, but it yellows under UV. I decided to do the smaller windows in acrylic and the larger in polycarbonate. Using the old windows as a template, I cut new ones to size with a jigsaw loaded with a plexiglass blade. I then smoothed the edges with a flap disc sander. I only used half as many screw holes as the originals. The screw holes need to be larger than the screws and countersunk. Here the cut windows are ready for spray painting. Note that I left about a 3/8 of an inch gap between the blue tape and the brown paper area. After it's spray painted black, the blue tape will be removed so the adhesive will stick to that area. I did not use the so-called dam that is described in Gemini's instruction video. The brown paper is removed from the inside once the windows are in place. I used about a case and a half of Dow 795 adhesive sealant. I found it was helpful to put alignment marks on the window and on the hull. This is what it looked like about halfway through the job. We found some decorative nautical looking trim, but haven't found the right adhesive for it yet. These cockpit hatches were quite yellowed as well, and I decided to replace those with white tinted acrylic. The new stuff looks a lot better. The lockers looked pretty bad, and they were prone to getting wet. Some of them don't have drains, like the ones on the transom. I painted the inside of all the lockers with bilge coat, except for the floors. I also replaced the gaskets on the hatches. I figured out the best way to do this was to put double-sided tape on the mating surface, and then lay the gasket on top of that sticky side up. Then closing the door while sitting inside the locker, I could align everything properly. I also made a ventilated and draining floor for the lockers from vinyl garden lattice and fence stakes, as you can see in this bottom view. This is what it looks like installed. The contents of the lockers have better ventilation and are drier now. Replacing the lifelines was a simple project that only took about half a day. We used a Suncore kit from Sailrite and uncoated wire. I was surprised to discover that the rode attached to my anchor chain wasn't tied to anything on the boat, so I added this secure cleat inside the anchor locker. I also added a heavy twisted shackle to the forestay plate. So now I have a secure place to attach a jack line.